We gather here the first day in the morning to pack up our gear and head for the Catholic Church in Sásabe, Sonora. That's where we start our walk. There we're met by the Catholic priest who has 3 coffins symbolizing a mother, a father, and a child who've perished in the desert. He offers some words, and we walk from his church to the border and we carry those coffins. They're symbolic of the hundreds, really thousands of people who've perished in the desert. Aquí estamos en la iglesia Sásabe, es donde empezamos la caminata. Desde aquí vamos allí a la iglesia católica en Sásabe, México. Allí el sacerdote quien encarga la iglesia nos recibe y allí tiene las cajitas de 3 personas que han fallecido. Los llevamos a la frontera en una peregrinación, recordando no solamente los cientos, pero los miles de personas quienes han fallecido en el desierto. We begin our walk every morning with the Migrant Vision Statement, reading it together, remembering while we walk. I invite you to join me. The words will appear on your screen. Cada mañana leemos la Declaración del Migrante, recordando por qué caminamos. Por favor, ahorita lo vamos a leer. The precarious reality of our borderlands calls us to walk. We are a spiritually diverse, multicultural group who walk together on a journey of peace to remember people, friends, and families who have died, others who have crossed, and people who continue to come. We bear witness to the tragedy of death and of the inhumanity in our midst. Lastly, we make this sacred journey as a community, in defiance of the borders that attempt to divide us, committed to working together for the human dignity of all people. And from here, our caminata begins. Here we are at the church in Sásabe. Aquí estamos en la iglesia aquí en Sásabe, Sonora. It's a sacred place. It's a place where thousands of migrants pass through. Es un lugar muy sagrado. Miles de migrantes pasan para acá. It's a great honor for me to introduce to you all Father Preseliano. Es un gran placer, un honor para mí presentar al sacerdote Preseliano. He welcomes us every year, and he shares in our sorrow and blessing for all those who have perished and for those who are walking. Él nos recibe cada año y nos da la bendición y también explica pocas palabras de todos que han pasado para acá, los que han fallecido y los que están caminando.
Hello, everyone. A warm welcome to you all. I am Father Preseliano, and it is a pleasure to welcome you. As every year, it is a pleasure to greet you all, and it is a pleasure and joy to strengthen the intimate ties that we have as a family dedicated to supporting the migrants. That we are here means there is still a very difficult situation, that we are in a real pandemic that is being lived with the situation of migrations, that this migration is happening all around the world. Each one of these migrations have their own particularities. Here in Sásabe, many stories have been written. Since the beginning of the Free Trade Agreement in 1994, when it went into effect, Our fields were abandoned in Mexico. Our people were practically forced to abandon their places of origin to find another way of life. At that time, it was called the American Dream. Today, that is not the case. Today, a better way of life is not what is sought. What is being sought is to maintain the lifestyle that one already has. It is very difficult to keep up the life in the place of origin of our migrant brothers and sisters. They had to leave because the situation became very difficult in their own countries. This is the same for Central Americans now as for all our people here in Mexico. This route has always witnessed many migrants, men, women, boys, and girls, who have passed through this place along the border. Many of them have been fortunate to reach their destination in the United States or Canada. But sadly and unfortunately, we have to accept that there are many deaths throughout the country. Mexico continues to be a sieve for migration. It is a very difficult filter for our migrant sisters and brothers, who are good men and women in their 20s, 30s, and 40s. They are good parents, very good children, and very good neighbors. They had to migrate, and because of this, they are labeled as criminals. When in all reality, the only thing they are doing when they leave their place of origin is fighting for their own lives and the lives of their families. When we run into them here, we see the sadness, everything they have suffered to be able to get here, their struggles. They have been smeared, they have been robbed and kidnapped. Their families have been asked to give something for them to be returned. They have been hurt in every way when they travel through Mexico. After all this, the moment they arrive, we can see how shattered they are. When they try to cross to the United States and then to Canada, they have been beaten. And they go with the fear of being arrested. Our migrants are heroes. Due to the situation that is unfolding with the COVID-19 pandemic, everything has come to a halt. But we can see that payments have gone up, and no one says anything. We have to applaud and thank our brothers and sisters publicly. When they are on their way from here to there, they suffer a lot and risk losing their lives. But against all of this, they establish themselves, and they send money to us so we can support ourselves. They don't get the recognition or the applause they deserve. This is why every year it is a pleasure to make this walk. Now it is a virtual walk. But we remember our brothers and sisters, especially those who have been left on the road. These brave men and women who dared to face difficult situations in their home countries, situations beyond their control having caused such violence and poverty that they can no longer continue to live, forcing them to look for another place to live. Today, we continue to be witnesses of the many migrants who are trying to take care of or protect their lives, and the only thing that they can think to do is to cross to the other side, to another country, so they and their families are able to have something. That's why we have always been with them, and we ask the God of life to strengthen them. And those of us who are on the other side, that we never tire, that we never get angry, that together we can create better conditions for them. Also that our migrant brothers and sisters can forgive us for the times we were cowards and we were afraid. And because of this, we cannot create better conditions for them to be able to walk without fear on these journeys. Sadly, we have to admit that our brothers and sisters perish because they have to migrate, and this situation has to be seen as modern slavery. We have to humanize our brothers and sisters. For all of our brothers and sisters are fine people who, due to the fact that they have migrated, believe they have lost all their rights. They have every right to move freely from one place to another. Unfortunately, if you do not meet the requirements imposed by each group that controls migration, you do not move forward. We must continue fighting. We can't resist changing this sinful situation of death. We need to provide the opportunity and hope that everything is going to be better. Once more, may God bless them. May the blessing of God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit accompany you whenever you pray for them, saying, "Heart of Jesus, full of love and mercy, I want to ask you for my migrant brothers and sisters. Be merciful with them and protect them from any suffering, mistreatment, and humiliations in their walk, when they are often identified as dangerous or marginalized because they are foreigners. Make us respect and value their dignity. Touch with your kindness the hearts of those we see pass. Take care of their families, so that when they return to their homes, they return not with a broken heart, but with their hopes fulfilled." So be it.
From this church we begin our solemn procession. We carry these coffins to the border in memory of the children, the women and the men who have perished walking for a better life. De aquí, de esta iglesia, empezamos nuestra caminata cargando estos cajoncitos en memoria a los niños, mujeres y hombres que han fallecido en busca de sus sueños para una vida mejor.
I have been here forever underneath the sky, watching the way the clouds whirl all across the land, feeling the wind blowing soft.
We carry the coffins in silent procession from the church here to the border, and we have a blessing. One of our sisters, Maria Padilla, makes a tie, a sacred tie for each of the people who have passed during the last year. We bless each one individually, and it is from here we begin our walk in their memory. Caminamos desde la iglesia hasta para acá, al gran pared, y aquí paramos, hacemos un ceremonio. Una de nuestras hermanas, María Padilla, nos hace bendiciones por cada persona quien ha fallecido en el desierto durante el año pasado. Rezamos por ellos, cada uno de ellos, y es de aquí donde empezamos la caminata. Once we cross the border, we all put our identity documents in a box. We surrender our nation-state identity. We become one with our sisters and brothers, inhabitants of the planet. Ya que cruzamos la frontera, alzamos todas nuestras identificaciones y hacemos uno con nuestros hermanos y hermanas, todos miembros no de un país distinto, sino de una planeta unida. Here we are. We've come to the end of our first day of walking. It's the shortest day. We walk 6 miles from the church here. Many friends join us and walk the first day. But at this moment, what's most important is that we remember. We all carry crosses with the names of someone who has perished during the last year. And we remember our sister or brother. We remember everyone who's died. And it is their name and in their memory that we walk. Aquí estamos. Hemos llegado al primer parada, primera noche aquí en el desierto. Hoy fue día corto, solamente caminamos 6 millas. Algunos compañeros vinieron de muchas partes para caminar el primer día. Ellos ya se van. Pero más que nada, lo más importante es que recordamos todos los que han fallecido en el desierto. Nosotros cada uno cargamos un cruz con un nombre o nombre no conocido, desconocido. En memoria de ellos, los que han fallecido, caminamos.